Crypto as an asset class is highly volatile. It's for people with a high tolerance for risk and who understand they can lose the entire value of their investment. Crypto may be more susceptible to market manipulation than securities. It's also not insured by the FDIC or protected by the Securities Investor Protection Corporation. Investors in crypto do not benefit from the same regulatory protections applicable to registered securities like stocks or bonds. Fidelity Crypto is offered by Fidelity Digital Assets. Brokerage accounts and securities trading are provided by Fidelity Brokerage Services, which does not offer crypto as a direct investment or provide trading or custody service for such assets. Throughout this interactive conversation, you'll hear us use words like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many more. We may use terms like crypto or digital assets as substitute words for specific coins, or to talk about the ecosystem as a whole. Just remember, all coins and tokens have very different attributes and use cases, and the ones we talk about here are only part of a wide variety of digital assets in existence. Hey there, welcome to the Covering Crypto live stream. I'm Jim Armstrong with Fidelity. First, I want to say thank you to the many viewers who sent in a lot of questions and comments asking for some details about how to open a Fidelity crypto account. Also got a lot of questions about how to fund that account, how to buy and sell crypto inside of that account, and of course, how to transfer cryptocurrencies into and out of a Fidelity crypto account. We've taken those questions, grabbed a whole bunch of them, and built an entire live stream around answering those questions, showing you the process from end to end. And that's what we'll get done today. I do want to point out, though, before we get started, today's live stream is only going to cover buying spot crypto, buying cryptocurrencies directly, such that you would own them outright. We're not going to be talking about buying any crypto funds today. So no ETPs, no ETFs. We're not talking about buying stock in companies that do business in the crypto space. The reason for that is you can hold any of those assets essentially in account types that you're probably already pretty familiar with. ETPs, ETFs, crypto equities, those can be held in many different account types. They can be held in IRAs or retirement accounts, in brokerage accounts, in trusts. The list goes on and on. But when it comes to actual spot crypto here at Fidelity, you need a Fidelity crypto account to get that done. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And to get that done, I am thrilled to be joined by Dan Chodos from the Fidelity Digital Assets team. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Jim. Happy to be here today.
Again, thanks for making time for us. Before we get started, it would be great, I think, if you could just spend 30 seconds or so of telling the folks watching who you are and what you do here.
Yeah. And thanks again for having me. So I'm a team lead in our Fidelity crypto product. So I lead a team that's responsible for building out some of our digital products and experiences. And really excited to be here because I get the privilege to walk through a demo and highlight some of the core functionality that we've built and give a closer look into how some of our customers are interacting with the experience and provide some guidance to others on how to use it for themselves.
Love it. Okay, thanks, Dan. In terms of an agenda, Dan just laid it out for us there, more or less. We're going to start off with some high-level basics about what you need in terms of eligibility requirements to get started. And then Dan will share his screen and walk you through on both web and mobile how to open a Fidelity crypto account, how to get money into that account, how to fund it. And then we'll talk about doing trades, buying and selling cryptocurrencies inside of that account. And then finally, we will wrap things up with talking about how to transfer deposits and withdrawals into and out of a Fidelity crypto account. All right, let's dive in again with how to open an account. And first, we've got those eligibility requirements that we need to get out of the way. So in order to open a Fidelity crypto account, you need to be a United States citizen, you need to be at least 18 years old, and you need to live in a state where Fidelity Digital Assets can do business. So at the moment, that's not all 50 states, but we're growing that list as quickly as we can. In order to figure out if your state is on that list, you should head over to fidelity.com/crypto. By the way, that's a great resource. You'll hear us talk about it a lot today. It's going to explain how to do business with Fidelity Crypto, how to open and fund and trade like Dan's going to talk about. It's also got some really great basic and advanced education for people looking for that. And if you scroll down a little bit, there's an FAQs, a frequently asked questions section of that page. And one of the very first ones that you'll see there is essentially, is my state eligible for Fidelity Crypto? That link is going to have the most up-to-date information about what states are eligible. So definitely check there if you're interested in finding out more. Now we can get started with a clarifying question that came in from Erica when she registered for the live stream. She wrote in and she asks, is there a difference between opening a separate crypto account and buying cryptocurrency through my existing Fidelity account? And I kind of answered that. I stole some of your thunder there, Dan, because in fact, you can't buy spot crypto in a brokerage account. You need a Fidelity crypto account. And Dan, you might actually need both accounts.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is something that we're going to show in just a few minutes in the account opening experience, but you do need two accounts. So you'll need a Fidelity brokerage account, which is something that you may already have if you're buying, selling stocks, equities, bonds through, other instruments through the Fidelity platform. And that's offered by the Fidelity Brokerage Services. Once you have that brokerage account, you'll need to open a Fidelity crypto account, which is provided by Fidelity Digital Assets. So to be specific and answer Erica's question, that's actually where you will access crypto, and you need to have both accounts. But before you dive in, the best place to start is probably just to check to see if you have that Fidelity brokerage account.
And on behalf of the people who are watching this live right now, Dan, why? Why do I need two accounts?
Yeah, it's a great question. You need both because Fidelity Crypto does not offer direct transfers from your outside bank into your Fidelity Crypto account. So at a very high level, here's how it's going to work. You're going to fund your brokerage account by bringing in or transferring in money from your external bank to your brokerage account. And then you're going to move that money over from your brokerage account to your crypto account. So we think of it as a two-step process: bank to brokerage, brokerage to crypto.
Excellent. And with that, we're going to get into the meat of the discussion here, how to open a Fidelity crypto account. We have a trio of questions that came in from viewers from when they registered for the live stream. Angie wants to know, how do I get started with crypto at Fidelity? Do I need a crypto account? You sure do. We're about to get there, Angie. Mike wants to know what the easiest way to open a Fidelity crypto account is. And Charles has essentially the same question. Dan, how do I get this done?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get into it, right? This is the best part. Here's the demo. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on the Fidelity.com desktop platform. So we'll show today both the desktop as well as the mobile. And so the first screen we're going to show here is our portfolio summary page. And what you'll see here, you may be familiar with, but we have a test account loaded up. And it has your accounts on the left side, some information about those accounts and some other useful activities. One thing to note, you will see when interacting with the Fidelity crypto account specifically, there is a watermark. So it's a light gray background with an icon. So whenever you are interacting with the Fidelity crypto account, you should be able to recognize that by seeing the watermark behind the screens. But specifically to go ahead and open the account, I'm going to navigate here down to the bottom left of the screen. You'll see a plus icon. And from there, you can go ahead and open an account. This is going to give you options to open a number of different accounts that we have at Fidelity, IRAs, planning advice accounts. But what we're looking for specifically today here is the crypto account. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit, and here you'll see all accounts. And then we have, you'll see there's 50 plus accounts. Just for an ability to filter, we are looking for our crypto account. And so there are a couple accounts here. Jim, I'll let you speak to what's in front of us here today.
Absolutely, Dan. And just to limit the scope, again, we're only going to be talking about Fidelity crypto accounts right now for holding spot crypto. But as you can see on Dan's screen there, Fidelity crypto for IRAs is also an option. It's a little bit out of scope for what we're going to be talking about today. But I will say we did a full live stream episode about whether or not a Fidelity crypto IRA might be something worth considering. You can check that out by going either to fidelity.com/crypto, as I mentioned a moment ago, or fidelity.com/covering-crypto live stream, which is the library for all of our past episodes where you'll find that IRA episode. Thanks, Dan.
Great. Thanks, Jim. Right. So pretty self-explanatory here. We're going to be able to open the account with this green button. But before I do, I just want to call out what you'll see here, and you'll see throughout the experience. We do hyperlink out disclosures, risk notices, things that you want to make sure that you familiarize yourself with as you continue on through the process. So I'll call that out as we go along here as well. But please make sure that you take time and understand the different disclosures for the product. So I'm going to go ahead and click open an account. And this is setting up the experience. So with the Fidelity Crypto account, as we've mentioned, this is where you will be able to trade crypto within the app. You can start as little as $1 and build your knowledge along the way. And as I mentioned, there are hyperlinks. You can learn all about the product and our different offerings, as well as disclosures if you want to learn more. So do encourage you to click those. Click Let's Go. And here, as we mentioned before with the two account structure, if you have a brokerage account already, you can use that existing brokerage account. But if you don't have a brokerage account and would like to have the crypto account, we can go ahead and open both the brokerage and the crypto account in one flow. And that's what we'll demonstrate here today. Click Next. As I'm going through the ownership, I can choose either an individual ownership or a joint ownership. If I do click joint, I would choose if it's joint rights of survivorship or joint tenants in common with some additional information about those for you to learn more. For simplicity's sake, we are going to open an individual account in this flow. You click Next. And so here's just some information about ourselves that we're going to need to enter. You're going to see some information that is in our test account. And so we would just have some of it pre-filled. If we need additional information, we would go ahead and type that in. So I'm just going to add in an address. We do need to select our citizenship. And then it may ask you some information as well about employment and please, and if you have any securities industry regulations. So please, if you are a part of that industry, make sure that you are reading through and answering all the questions that you need to. Just for our purposes in this test, we're going to go ahead and click retired without any securities industry regulations. And then here you'll see we are going to open both the brokerage as well as the crypto account. This is the tool two structures. You see the information here about the test account and the employment information. And then importantly, all of the disclosures, prospectus, and information. And we do encourage you to please take your time and read through these documents to make sure you feel comfortable with the process. But once you're through all of that, you go ahead, click open accounts, and you're going to be set to go. That's how you do it on desktop, Jim.
Excellent. So that's the, as you said, the desktop, the Fidelity.com experience. Some folks prefer a mobile experience, do it on their phone, do it on a tablet, something like that. So Dan, can you walk us through? It's going to look and feel very similar, but a little bit different. Worth calling out some of the differences.
Yeah, for sure. So again, here in a test account on the latest app, and would encourage you that when you're participating on the mobile application that you go ahead and go to the App Store, the Google Play Store, and you get that latest version of the application. That'll give you the latest software that's out there. But here, this is the account summary page from the mobile version, similar to what you saw on desktop. You'll see the list of accounts that you have. And we're just going to move down a little bit on the screen here, and you're going to see the open or link an account. And we'll click open. And here, similar, that plus icon to go ahead and open an account. Here you have your options similar to what we saw on desktop, investing, retirement, and we are looking today for the crypto account. And we go ahead and click next. And again, as mentioned, you see the other options, the IRAs, which Jim talked about being another special, but today we are looking at our general trading and investment opportunity. Click Get Started. Again, information about the account. If you do want to learn more, you can go ahead and learn more. There's a slide sheet. And just like you saw within the desktop, we have all our disclosures and everything. And we would encourage you to take your time and make sure that you're clicking through and reading the information as you're opening the account. Click Let's Go. We are going to open both the brokerage and the crypto. for this flow and be able to allow the customer to have that all within one flow. And again, as mentioned, if you have a brokerage account, you don't need to open a new brokerage account. We'll just open the crypto account. But for our purposes here, just showing you how we would open them both. Again, select either just for me, or if you are looking to share it, it has the same functionality where you can choose joint with rights of survivorship or joint tenants in common. This very similar to what we saw on the desktop. You can see the account opening agreements, information about prospectus. If you do want to review your personal information, this is where that test information about the employment status and things that we're able to bring in. You can go ahead and see that here. You can also see in this that we've got everything right, that we're going to open both the accounts. You can see the profile as well. So everything should be included within that. And as long as you are comfortable to go, you're going to come down to the bottom and you're going to click open my accounts. And that, Jim, is how you do it on mobile.
Now, someone paying attention to your screen shares might be able to answer Amelia's question for us, but we did get another question that came in from Amelia, who wants to know how much money does she need to open a Fidelity crypto account? And so again, you may have seen on Dan's screens, but luckily the answer to that is as little as $1, which is pretty good because I don't think many of us can afford to buy a whole Bitcoin these days. And maybe you can buy a whole Litecoin, but maybe you don't want to. Maybe you want to start off slow and learn by doing. That's really the idea behind being able to start with as little as $1, to build up that confidence, to start slow, maybe to learn the space, to learn the platform, to learn how to work inside the account. That's really the point of starting with as little as $1. So Amelia, you only need $1. Tries to help you on it's meant to help you on your learning journey. We have a lot of educational resources that are all trying to help you on your learning journey when it comes to crypto, building up that crypto confidence. I would direct you again to fidelity.com/crypto as a great URL to bookmark and return to when you're looking for information throughout the process. Once you have your Fidelity crypto account open, well, you're probably going to want to fund that account, get some money in there so that you can buy and sell the cryptocurrencies of your choice. I've got a couple of questions that came in during registration from viewers asking specifically about that process. Laura wants to know, what are the ways to fund your Fidelity crypto account? Can you transfer from other Fidelity accounts? And Eladio asks, how do I go about funding my crypto account? Pretty straightforward questions, Dan. How straightforward are the answers?
Oh, I hope they're straightforward as well, Jim, but why don't we take a look at it? So again, why don't we start on the desktop version here? So if you already have a brokerage account and you already participate in buying and selling of different stocks and equities and items, you may already have a funding source. And so as we talked about with funding, you do need to have funding into the brokerage account from your bank and then the brokerage to the crypto. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and fund that brokerage. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go ahead and EFT to or from a bank. So if I come in here, if I already have a bank listed, it would show me as a bank here. So I would be able to bring those funds in immediately. But if I don't, I am able to go ahead and add a bank or recipient. And so I've just gone ahead and clicked that, and I'm going to click add a bank or recipient. And then we'll walk you through the next step. So I'll click continue. And then there's a number of different options, EFTs, wires, different apps, or other accounts. For the purposes today, we're going to do an EFT, electronic fund transfer. So that's sending money from a linked bank to somebody else's. And so we'll do an EFT, and you can either here set it up for yourself, or if you're sending funds elsewhere, we are bringing the funds into to myself. And then a couple things that you're going to need. We'll need a security code that's to verify your identity and make sure that this is a safe and secure process. You'll need a bank account routing and account number. So here we'll show you on either a check or a deposit slip. This is where you can find those routing and account numbers. And in some cases, if you choose, you'll need your online banking username and password, and that sometimes will establish a faster connection and allow you to bring those funds across. Click continue. And as mentioned, we are going to do a security code. And this is going to, again, verify us to to go through the process safely and securely. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in here. And that'll bring us to this next stage. And again, we are looking to do an electronic funds transfer, an EFT. You can also choose to do that wire, as we mentioned. It's coming from myself and not a bank or a business. And so here, again, if you'd like, you can go and securely log into your bank and connect directly. That's one way of doing it. Also, if you want, you can enter your banking information here. And this is where we would allow you to provide those routing and account numbers. And that would go ahead, agree and continue. And that would set up the existing EFT, and you can bring the funds in from that external bank to the brokerage. So let's say that you actually do have an account that's already funded and you want to get those funds over to the crypto account. So in this case, you can see I have this individual account with $37.62, and I'd like to bring that over to my crypto account. So again, I'm going to come over here to the transfer window, and here you'll see transfer cash or shares between Fidelity accounts. What I'd like to do is pick my brokerage account first. So again, bank to brokerage is step one, brokerage to crypto is step two. So we're in the step two. So we want to go brokerage, and here you'll see it's labeled as the funding account for Fidelity Crypto. You'll see what you have available to withdraw and to send over to Fidelity Crypto. So today we have $37.62. And then I'd like to select the Fidelity Crypto account that I'd like to send it to. We'll go ahead and send $10. Review the transfer. So we are sending from our brokerage over to our Fidelity Crypto account, and then hit submit, and you'll get your confirmation. And that's how you fund your crypto account in desktop.
All right, Dan, next step then is to show us how to fund on a mobile device.
Yeah, certainly. So again, we are here on this test account using the mobile device. And again, as a reminder, when you're doing things on the mobile device, make sure you're on the latest mobile release, which you can get from the Google Play Store or the App Store. So we are on the latest version here. You'll see our test account. Pretty straightforward entry point here. You'll see this big green circle with the transact button. And so that's the entry point into transfer from mobile. You click there and click transfer again. And so just like desktop, what we're looking to do is bring funds over from our bank to our brokerage, and then bring from brokerage to crypto. So if I already have a bank, that would show here as an option to bring in. If I don't, which I don't on this account, I can go ahead and link a bank account. So I'm going to click link a bank account. And then here's my options again, the electronic funds transfer and EFT, where I can send it a wire or another account. So I'll click EFT from myself or to myself. And then again, just like desktop, you'll need a security code to verify your identity, the bank account, routing and account numbers, which if you click here, again, we show this on, you can get this from your check, from a deposit slip. You can also get it from your bank's account page as well if you log in there. And then if you want and you can connect directly, you would need your online banking credentials, your username and password. So I'll click continue. And here it is asking me for that security code. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. To make sure that it is a secure connection, that as we're doing this transaction. So I am choosing an electronic funds transfer myself, and it is not a business account. How do you want to add the bank account information? So again, you can connect directly through this link, or you can enter in the bank information on your own. So this is that routing number and account number. I'll click that, click a new link. I am the owner. I'm going to use a checking or a brokerage account. You can also use savings account. And this is where you're going to provide that routing number, the account number, or and then re-enter it as well. And then once you click agree and continue, you are going to be connected into that bank, and you can go ahead and make that transfer. Alternatively, You may also already have funds in an existing brokerage account. So in this case, if I go ahead and I'm back in that transfer widget, which I got from that little green circle on the bottom that says transfer, and I'm going to transfer from my individual account. And so you'll see here, I do have funds that are available, ready to go over to Fidelity Crypto. So I have my individual account listed here. It's pre-populated. My crypto account is the only account I can transfer for. In this case, you'll see that I do have $40 sitting there as well. So I'm just gonna add a couple extra bucks and go ahead and make a $5 transfer. We'll click review, and you'll see this is coming from an individual account to your Fidelity Crypto account today, and click submit. And that is how you fund your account on mobile.
Excellent, Dan. Thank you for that. We are one step closer to actually placing our first trades, our buys and sells. But before we do that, on behalf of the whole team here, I just want to remind everybody watching to really take the time to do your research into cryptocurrencies before you make that first buy. Cryptocurrencies are notoriously infamously volatile. They're very risky, and you really need to be comfortable and knowledgeable about what you're buying before you buy it. Also, try to figure out your own personal risk tolerance. How do you handle and deal with volatility? What does your time horizon look like? Do all of these things to, as we say a lot here, build up your crypto confidence before you make that first trade. If you're looking for help on how to do that, we would humbly suggest fidelity.com/crypto is a tremendous resource for you. It's going to walk you through, as Dan has been doing and will continue to do, how to open and fund and trade in an account. Tons of frequently asked questions there, as well as lots of other videos and infographics and short form articles, long form articles, animated videos. They're all in there, all in an attempt at both a basic and advanced level to help get you comfortable with what you need to know before you place that first trade. All right, so you have opened and funded your Fidelity Crypto account. You're now at the place where you're probably anxious to make that first trade. Got a couple of questions that came into the live stream from registrants who have this exact same concern. Miran wants to know, how can I buy Bitcoin through Fidelity? Randy wants to know, how do I trade crypto at Fidelity? And Karen says, hey, I'm just new to crypto. I want to know how to trade. So it doesn't have to be Bitcoin, Dan. There's other options that you're going to walk us through it all right now.
I am. And we're going to start in a familiar place. So our portfolio summary page. Again, this is our test account with some preloaded information. And you'll see your list of accounts. But today we're looking to engage in trading of cryptocurrencies. So I'm going to come over to my cryptocurrency Fidelity crypto account. And again, you'll see the watermark. It's going to be prevalent throughout the experience. That's to know that you are in the Fidelity crypto account. But I've clicked there. You'll see some different information. If you'd like to see your positions or activity balances, you can go ahead and click that. But we are looking and interested in doing trading. So there's a couple different entry points. You can go in through this trade up top. But actually, my favorite place to come through here is this tradable coins list. So tradable coins, you'll see we offer Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. You'll see just some brief information about it, the last price and the change. But if I come in here and I click Bitcoin, this is where I'm going to get a lot more information. I'm going to see recent news about it, detailed quote information, charts, positions that I may have, different changes, what's going on in the market today. I can also see some advanced charting options and other items. If I didn't want to choose Bitcoin today, if I wanted to choose another coin, they're typically found by the symbols. So I can click and type ETH here, and this is going to bring in the Ethereum chart. I can again see the same items. But I'm looking here to buy, so I'm going to go ahead and click buy, and this is going to open up this single trade ticket. So everything that you need to do for buying is all going to be encapsulated here, and you don't lose what's going on behind you with the other information as well. And you're seeing here, you're looking to trade crypto from this account as well as the symbol. And again, if let's say instead you didn't want to do Ethereum, but you did want to do Bitcoin, you can go ahead and change that right within the trade ticket. So we'll talk about sell in a little bit, but today, right now, we're going to talk about buy. And then you have two different options for buying. You have a buy in a dollar amount, or you have a buy in a coin amount. And you can see up here for available to trade, we do have $45.15 worth of US dollars in order to buy and sell. And so I may want to just buy $10 worth. That's one option that I can do. Or I can also choose, if I was so inclined, to buy coin. And maybe I wanted to buy, if I was feeling lucky enough and had the funds in to do so, I might want to buy 0.5 Bitcoin. But not all of us are able to do that. So why don't we go ahead and do a dollar amount buy? So I'm going to go ahead and keep that at a $10 buy. And here now I have two options. I have a market order buy and a limit order buy. So a market order buy, that is the buying at the current market price. A limit order I'll get to in just a moment. It's about setting a price. But why don't we go ahead and we'll look and do a market order buy of Bitcoin in $10 increments. So I've selected all of my options here. Buying $10. I already own $13, so at the end of it I'll own 23 and change. And I'm doing a market order. I will click preview. And here is all of that information that I have. So I want to go ahead and execute this. If you'd like to learn more about the Fidelity crypto fee and other disclosures, you can click this link, and that will provide you some additional information that is kept up to date on the current fee and disclosures related to trading. But if I wanted to do that, I would go ahead and hit place my order. And let's go ahead and do that. Order received, and we are set. We've bought our $10 in Bitcoin. Now, I mentioned that was a market order. Let's also go ahead and talk about limit orders. So again, I did Bitcoin. Let's change it up. We'll look at Ethereum. I'm going to choose buy. But instead of saying a market order, what I'd actually like to do is a limit order. And so what is a limit order? The limit order is saying that I'd like to buy this this Ether token, but instead of it being at the current market price, which right now is $4,519, I actually only want to spend and only buy the $10 worth if the price approaches $4,400. So I'm still going to buy the same amount. However, I will only buy the amount if it reaches the $4,400. Now, the difference between market and limit is that when I click market and I buy, I'm going to execute at that market. This limit may or may not be achieved. And so if it is achieved, the order will execute. But if it's not, and we'll go ahead and click here and preview the order, you'll see that that order will stay active until 11:59 tonight. And so if Ethereum does not go to $4,400, that will cancel out and no buy will occur. But if we'd like, we can go ahead and place the order. Again, if you need information on the fee and disclosures, you can click that. And here we go. This is now order in. It will wait for execution until that limit price is reached. And if not, it will cancel. And that, Jim, is how you buy crypto on the desktop.
All right, that was how to buy on Fidelity.com on desktop. Can you walk us through how to sell, but on mobile? Mix it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. That sounds good. All right, so we are back at our Portsum page here on mobile. And again, your friendly reminder, please grab the latest software version from your friendly App Store or Google Play Store. But we're going to come in here, click the Fidelity crypto account, and you'll see the watermark again, letting you know that you are in this Fidelity crypto experience. Here you'll see the account value, what I have available to trade. But what I'm actually looking for here is my tradable coin. So we showed this on desktop a bit earlier. It's the same thing here on mobile. So you're going to see the coin, the current price, and if I click on that current price, it's going to bring me into the chart, detailed quote, and I get to learn a lot more about what's going on. If I wanted to do additional research, if I wanted to understand my position within that, I would be able to do so all right from here. But Jim, you were looking to complete a sell, so why don't we go ahead and do that? So we're going to go in and click trade, and here you have your clear options. So you can do a sell or a buy. So we're going to click sell. And this, if you did click sell and you wanted to buy, again, able to toggle one way or the other, you're going to stay in that same experience. But you're going to see we are in the Ethereum token. If you wanted to change that, and you wanted to do a different token, you can switch right within that and stay all on the same page. So we can do Bitcoin, and we are going to do a sell. Similar to desktop, if you wanted to do a sell in dollars, you can. If you wanted to do a sell in quantity, you can also do that. So here I'm going to go ahead and choose that I want to do a sell. You'll see here's the current amount of Satoshis that I do have. But if I wanted to do a $10 amount, I can put that in here. And just like in the desktop version, you have a choice if you wanted to do a market order or a limit order. Also, if you are looking for some additional insight, you can choose this. It'll give you a little bit more information about those order types. I'm going to go ahead and just preload here a dollar order, a $10 order at market, so you can see that. But I'm looking to sell $10 worth of Bitcoin. I own $22 currently worth of Bitcoin. So this is what I'd sell, and this is the estimated price. Again, the fee and risk disclosures are here. So if you want to click here and see the latest, you can go ahead and do that. But if you were to click sell, that would go ahead and complete the order. And well, we'll go ahead and do that. And so you can see that we've sold it, notification to tell us of the sell, confirmation, and what we've done. I'm gonna now do a sell, but as I mentioned, I'm actually going to look at the limit order. So let me come in here to Ethereum, to trade, and to sell. So in limit on mobile, we have a nice functionality. It's this limit chart. So if I choose limit, and again, limit is currently Ethereum is trading at $4,502. If I didn't want to purchase it at 40 or to sell it at 4,500, but I actually wanted it to be a little bit higher, I might look at a limit order. And here in the limit chart, if I choose that, you're going to see the current order. You're going to see some activity over the last 24 hours, the last week, month, and I can just choose to drag this hamburger icon and say I might want it to be 2% higher, and that would allow me to see what that looks like. That's the kind of top of this item here. Or maybe I think it's going to get back up to the top of the chart over here. And so that's closer to 4,700. And so this is allowing me to just visualize what that limit means. But I'm in here and click sell. And then if I'd like to set my limit price, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's be here. And I'd like to do $10 worth. Again, you'll see what you own. We'll click preview. And here we are. We are setting a limit to sell $10 worth of ETH at $4,700 or higher. So again, if it does move quick and goes above that, it would fill at the higher number. And then you'll see your other items about what you owe, currently what you own, as well as the estimated ETH. That is here, ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and click sell ETH. And this, just like desktop, you're going to see. So the order is in. It will only execute at the time we reach that. Otherwise, it will cancel today at 11:59 if it doesn't. And that's how you sell on mobile.
And for everyone watching, please remember, continue your crypto learning journey on fidelity.com/crypto. It's a tremendous resource for you here. If you're going to bookmark one website as a result of this live stream, it probably should be fidelity.com/crypto. All right, one of the most asked for features since we launched Fidelity Crypto has been the ability to transfer cryptocurrencies, both into and out of a Fidelity Crypto account. We got lots of questions like these three will flash on the screen right now. These came in during registration from people anxious to learn more about transfer capabilities. Emily wants to know, how can I transfer my crypto from other accounts into Fidelity? Kevin has the opposite question. Can I transfer my Bitcoin from a Fidelity account to my personal wallet? And then during a recent live chat, we had kind of a general question. Can you just show us how to do this thing? How do I transfer my cryptocurrencies into and out of Fidelity? All right, Dan, the people are clear. They want to know how to transfer into and out of a Fidelity crypto account.
All right, let's give it to him, Jim. So I'm going to start here at desktop and show you how to enter in. So the capability for transferring of crypto, and what we mean by transferring of crypto, we mean bringing cryptocurrency in from an external source, whether that's a centralized or decentralized exchange or your own self-hosted wallet, onto the Fidelity platform. That's our deposit. Or if you'd like to take the coins off platform and bring it to those counter platforms, you can go ahead and do that with a withdrawal. So those capabilities are available to you both from a desktop as well as a mobile experience. I do want to enter in here first time from a desktop, though, just to walk you through a little bit of the difference that you're experiencing on mobile desktop for the first time. So when I go ahead and I click that deposit, and so that was there was a deposit withdraw button within that account page. I'm going to get sent to this page at first. This is my first time, one time only, that you come into the transfer of crypto capability. And because of this function, we do have a higher level of security, and we do require that you complete this through a mobile platform. That mobile platform allows you to take a photo of an identification source. It allows you to take a selfie and some other things as well. And so when you come here for the first time, you will be prompted with this page, and you can either choose to get a link, which will allow you to take that link to the application, or if you have your camera up, you can scan the QR code, and that will bring you in as well. But again, it's this one time, it's a setup. It is an opt-in functionality that you have here. It does not come automatically when you have your crypto account. So I have already gone ahead and queued up a phone here, just so if you were to come into this entry point for the first time on mobile, or use that QR code and you are redirected here, and you come down, you're going to see the same idea, the deposit or withdraw crypto from the account page. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Because it's my first time, it doesn't matter if I choose deposit or withdraw. In subsequent times, it will take you down the correct path that you're looking to do. But I'm going to click deposit crypto, and you're going to see that it's going to bring me to this page. We are going to use a vendor in order to verify the identity. That's going to allow us to access to your camera, scan your ID, and also take a picture of yourself. The transfer of crypto externally on the blockchain, these are immutable transactions. Once they happen, they are not on the same idea as being on within our platform. It actually leaves. It goes. It's this one-time transaction, and so we really want to make sure that they're safe, that they're secure. Because this is a test account, and in order to just kind of move us forward a little bit, I have gone ahead and loaded an account that already has been verified, and is ready to complete some deposits and withdrawals. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch to that now. I'm going to click deposit withdrawal. We're going to start with deposit. So I'm going to click deposit crypto, and I'm going to choose the account or the asset that I'd like to deposit. It doesn't matter if you have any of these assets on platform already. It's as long as this is a tradable coin, it's one that we custody at Fidelity Digital Assets. You can choose this. You can see the balances. We actually do have balances for all these, but if you did not, it'd still be eligible to deposit it. I'm going to go ahead and click this. First thing that you're going to see, validate your network address with a penny test. Please, please, please read this, pay attention to it. It is strongly recommended to complete a penny test. Here's how it's working. You're going to deposit a small amount from your external wallet to the Fidelity crypto account. Why is this so important? Again, immutable transaction. Once it's complete, it's complete. We can't reverse it. And so rather than just going all in and sending it, it really is, from a security standpoint, best practices to do a small amount first. Make sure that it happened, it went to the right account, you feel good about it before doing any subsequent deposits. So really, really want to make sure that that's front and center. So here you'll see your crypto account. you'll see the address. From here, you can either choose to copy this address, or you can also generate a QR code, and you can use, if you're using another device, you can scan that QR code and have that bring your address over to the external platform for you to go ahead and make that deposit. So a couple steps here on how to make the deposit. One, you're going to be on your external wallet. So if you're at another centralized exchange, or if you're at your own hardware wallet, that's where you're going to start. You're going to start external to Fidelity. You're going to bring this address through copy or QR code, and you're going to bring that over, and you're going to say, this is where I want to send the funds. And you're going to go ahead and make that transaction. So that is deposit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull up withdraw. So withdraw, again, this is taking coin off platform from the Fidelity platform to another address. I'm going to select Ethereum in this case. Now, what you need is an address. So here, again, these are all test addresses that we have that will allow you to send to that address. Fidelity does require that you add an address in advance of sending to that address. It's a process that we feel really strongly about with Fidelity, because we want to make sure that you're safe and secure, and that when you're sending coin off platform, you're the one sending it. So we do want you to go ahead and add it. And also, as you saw, I just clicked add address. Remember, if you're adding an address, know why you're adding that address. So you're sending it to yourself, or did somebody else ask you for that? There are scams to watch out for: fraudulent scams, social media scams, imposter scams, investment scams, all things that you want to make sure that you're looking out for when you're making withdrawal. Here, I'm going to go ahead, though, and provide that information. I'm going to select the asset that I want to do. So here it's Ethereum. I can name this to be my address. And then I can also then paste or scan an address in here. So if I hit scan QR code, I'm on my phone, and I am scanning it from somewhere else, that'll bring the address in. Also, you do want to provide, if you're sending that to yourself, or if you are sending it to a third party, which is okay as well, we do just request that you provide additional information about that. This is our address that we're going to bring in here. I'm going to select myself. I'm going to click review. And again, so this is a secure process. So we do require that you do provide that second level of assurance to make sure that you are you when you are adding this address. So I'll click continue. And it does take a couple business days in order for that address to become available for you to send. Let's say that we did want to send to one that was in existence, though. I'm going to select that one, and then I'm going to choose what I'd like to send. So here you'll see what I have available to withdraw. I have an amount, and I can choose either to enter that amount in quantity or in dollars. So if I wanted to do $10 worth, I can do that. There we go. Or if I wanted to do in quantity, I can also switch and do it in quantity, or I can change the quantity as well. Just remember, when you are sending, you are always sending in the Ethereum native token for this one in Ether or in Bitcoin. So while you can select in dollars, the dollars are a representation of what the coin would be. So here you'll see the estimated value is 0.001. We'll go ahead and click review. And here you'll see the information. So you're withdrawing this amount from here to this wallet address with this value. Estimated time, this is a transaction that happens on the blockchain. So once we send it, we are subject to the validators doing their thing, making sure that it's a good transaction and pushing it through. So, like I was saying before on deposit, this is what you would see on a version of this. Everybody has their own takes, but you're going to provide a wallet address, you're going to provide an amount. You are also going to pay a network fee, and this is the one thing I do want to clarify. So this is a fee to the network. This is going to the blockchain to say, in order to validate that this is a correct transaction, this is how much it's going to cost to validate. And so you go ahead and need to add that fee to the principal amount that you're sending, and in total, that is what is going to be withdrawn from the account. And then you can go ahead and click submit and let the blockchain do its thing. And Jim, that's how you deposit and withdraw on Fidelity Crypto.
Excellent, Dan. Thank you for that. It is worth noting too, Dan mentioned it, but I'll say it again. In order to enable crypto transfers, you have to have a Fidelity crypto account. You have to have it linked to a brokerage account, and you have to live in a state where Fidelity Digital Assets is able to provide crypto transfer capabilities. Fidelity crypto IRAs, I should point out, are ineligible for crypto transfers. And again, it's worth mentioning fidelity.com/crypto or fidelity.com/crypto help are both really great resources that you can continue to rely on throughout this process. Dan, thank you so much for walking us through the mobile and the web experiences. Really, really appreciate your time.
Oh, thanks for having me, Jim. It was a pleasure.
And thanks everybody who took the time out of their day to watch. We hope you got something out of this live stream, and we hope to see you again soon at the next live stream.